Hello everyone and welcome back to a new week of Road to VGC Worlds 2016. We are featuring Randy Qua's team that features a Magic Bounce Choice Scarf Trick Espeon. So hopefully that will lead to a couple of interesting games today. I did use Espeon in both battles yesterday, and unfortunately I won the first one due to Moody boosts. And the second one I lost because I got too greedy with Geomancy. I should have identified the fact that my opponent was not going to protect and things like that, and I ended up like giving away the game too easily. Now our first opponent today is using Rayquaza and Ho-Oh, two very problematic Pokemon. Crobat and Pharaoh, two other very problematic Pokemon, although Pharaoh not that much. Seismitoad and Weavile. So I definitely want to lead Espeon here, and I think I want to lead it with Groudon because I do have the Rock Tomb for Ho-Ohs, and the rest of his Pokemon don't really threaten me too much. And let's see what else here. I think I want Salamence for sure, because I do think I'll be able to get rid of that Weavile pretty easily. And I believe Xerneas is the right call here, despite him having, well, actually he does have Ho-Oh, Pharaoh and Crobat. But then, yeah, then Talonflame it is, because Smeargle is a bit too passive, and he has too many Xerneas counters. So not bringing Xerneas this time around. Hopefully Espeon can do a lot of work here. Psychic does one-hit KO Crobat. We can trick Crobat as well. We can trick Ho-Oh potentially. And we will definitely get off the Psychic before he can set up some sort of Tailwind. So he leads Ho-Oh and Crobat. I really hope we can get rid of Crobat right on the first turn and then Rock Tomb that Ho-Oh to deal a ton of damage. I really hope so. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna Psychic the Crobat and I'm gonna Rock Tomb the Ho-Oh. And I need to charge my capture card, otherwise I will be left without a battery during the game. Now Ho-Oh protects. That's fine. The Psychic should take down Crobat here. I have seen Focus Sash Crobat before, but yeah, Espeon putting in the work, not letting Crobat do absolutely anything. I do reveal my Rock Tomb unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world. Seismitoad comes in. So, seeing Seismitoad, I'm really glad I brought Salamence. I'm stuck into Psychic, but I could start to whittle down that Ho-Oh. Actually, I'm gonna whittle down Seismitoad because that's the bigger threat, and I'm gonna bring in Salamence to avoid the potential Earth Power to intimidate Ho-Oh into doing less damage with Sacred Fire or Brave Bird. The first of which I do resist, but could get a burn. And I really have no idea what Seismitoad will want to do. He actually withdraws the Ho-Oh for Rayquaza. So our Salamence switching, as long as he doesn't Ice Beam or something, is looking okay here. He goes for a Scald. So he was trying to catch my Groudon off guard. I really thought an Earth Power was coming in, but I do have Dazzling Gleam on this Pokemon, so Rayquaza is pretty scary though. I think I still need to Psychic the Seismitoad, and I'm going to Mega Evolve and Hyper Voice. The original set had Draco Meteor, but I decided to run Tailwind instead, which I now obviously regret. I think a Hyper Voice should take down Seismitoad at the range it's currently at. Hopefully we see a Protect from Rayquaza. I don't think an Extreme Speed will KO me at this range. I don't think it will KO either of my Pokemon, definitely. And both of my Pokemon should be faster than him, than his Rayquaza. So he might go after Espeon, but that would be okay as well, I think. Because his defenses would be lowered. Rayquaza does go for a Protect, so that's really good for us. No Protects from Seismitoad, so there's a Psychic. Yeah, that definitely should be in Hyper Voice KO range. Because Espeon... Oh, wow. No. So never mind. Never mind. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. I think I want to conserve Espeon because of the fact that it has Dazzling Gleam, it has Charm, and it can trick the Ho-Oh. So I'm gonna switch Talonflame or Espeon into Talonflame, and I'm going to Hyper Voice again, but I really think I will see an Extreme Speed onto the Salamence. Now it's really weird that when you have Salamence and Espeon, yeah, no Extreme Speed, actually a Dragon Ascent. Most likely onto the Espeon, no, onto the Salamence, okay. That works out. Maybe he was expecting Groudon to come out there. We see no Life Orb, I think. No, there is the Life Orb. Okay. And he goes for an Earth Power, which doesn't connect, which is perfect. So, I can bring Espeon back in. And I could Dazzling Gleam. And I think that's my play, actually. I think Dazzling Gleam, Brave Bird is my play. Because that forces Rayquaza into using Extreme Speed. That guarantees Seismitoad goes down. And if he goes for an Extreme Speed, he should not KO either of my Pokemon. So that's what I'm gonna do. He might switch out Rayquaza into Ho-Oh. He actually protects, which is fine. I think Groudon should be able to take down Ho-Oh one-on-one. And the Dazzling Gleam will hurt that Rayquaza a lot. Like a lot. And next turn I could potentially make it a 3 against 1. Because Rayquaza just wasted, or not wasted, but it used its Protect. So he only has a 30% chance to get it once again. And okay, what I'm wondering is, I don't need to Tailwind, right? Yeah, I'm gonna... yeah. Just gonna Dazzling Gleam and Brave Bird. That should guarantee the KO on Rayquaza. He doesn't even go for Extreme Speed. His defense is lowered. So yeah, the Brave Bird alone is enough to destroy Rayquaza. So yeah, Espeon has gotten 2 KO so far, and if he doesn't target the Espeon, and he doesn't knock out the Talonflame, I'm actually going to switch out Espeon to be able to trick. Wow, he goes after Espeon. Oh, but he does KO, okay. So that must be a really offensive Ho-Oh. Because I do have some bulk, but with Rock Tomb, and Priority Brave Bird, I really should have no issue KOing Ho-Oh. I might even want to go for a Fire Punch, only because it's 100% accurate, but probably not. I'm just gonna Rock Tomb and Brave Bird, and that should guarantee us the game as long as we don't miss like 2 Rock Tombs in a row, potentially. It really shouldn't. Brave Bird does a ton of damage, so Fire Punch would have been enough to KO the Ho-Oh. Not after the Citrus Berry, of course. And yeah, Ho doesn't even outspeed Groudon, which connects with the Rock Tomb and gets the KO. So we managed to take a win. I really think Espeon was the star of the show because it prevented my opponent from setting up Tailwind. It took the KO onto Seismitoad while threatening Rayquaza with the Dazzling Gleam, which of course my opponent did not know. Maybe. Okay, so my opponent disconnected. And yeah, let's find our next battle. I'm really liking this team. Espeon is a really nice Pokemon. Like, you really didn't expect Espeon to work. And I actually talked with a friend of mine about Espeon, and I told him, dude, Focus Sash, Magic Bounce, Trick Room Espeon would be sick. And he said he wanted to help me test it out. It never ended up, like, I never ended up using it or trying it out. And okay. But yeah, there's the power of Espeon. Now, the fact that we're not facing any Smeargles is unfortunate, because that's where Magic Bounce would really ensure that Smeargle doesn't see any play. But now we're up against a Landorus, Pharaoh, Crobat, Rayquaza, Weavile, and Kyogre. So, Espeon lead for sure. I can trick the Ferrothorn, I can Psychic the Crobat, I can Dazzling Gleam the Rayquaza and the Weavile, or I can damage the Landorus. Espeon with what though? With Groudon? Once again? Because he does have Kyogre and he has Rayquaza. So my opponent last time around led Ho-Oh Crobat. He doesn't have Ho-Oh this time around. So maybe Espeon Xerneas is the play here. Or Espeon Talonflame? I have to make a decision quick. No, I'm gonna go Espeon Talonflame with Xerneas and Groudon. Because Espeon seems, not Espeon. Xerneas seems to do a lot of work against my opponent as long as we get rid of that Ferrothorn. So there's a Kyogre Crobat. So what I could potentially do is bring in Groudon, but then he could bring in Rayquaza. I think he will really want to set up the Tailwind though. I think he will really want Tailwind. Now, if I lost both of my Pokemon right now... yeah, I'm gonna Psychic the Crobat. And I'm going to switch Talonflame for Groudon. I don't think he will switch out Crobat. Yeah, he's not switching out Crobat. So, no water attacks for him this time around. Espeon might get another KO onto Crobat, which would of course be pretty good. Unless he switches Kyogre, but then that's perfectly fine. The Sun will be here. He will have a switch into Rayquaza next turn. Kyogre actually protects, so he was trying to set up the Tailwind here. But we get off the Psychic first. And we do KO Crobat. It's not a Focus Sash Crobat. So, really nice first turn for us. But Rayquaza can't come in right now and really, really threaten us. The question here is, how speedy is that Kyogre? Okay, so there's Rayquaza. He has no other Mega Evolution. But, okay. Would he Mega Evolve right now? I think he would. So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to Psychic the Kyogre. And I'm going to Protect. And next turn, I can bring in Xerneas. And I can not get greedy and target the Rayquaza with a Moonblast. Or I could bring in Talonflame to Tailwind. If he has the Origin Pulse on Kyogre, he shouldn't be able to KO Xerneas. Psychic does a ton. That was a critical hit. Dragon Ascent onto the Espeon. Will probably take the KO unless it's not Life Orbed. Okay, there's the KO. Is it Life Orb though? Yes, it is. Seems like every Rayquaza is Life Orb lately. And the Origin Pulse goes into my Protect. So, we have two choices here. We can double target the Kyogre, or we can Dazzling Gleam. I mean, Rayquaza is at -1. So I think the combination of Dazzling or a Dazzling Gleam, if he attacks first and uses Dragon Ascent, should take down Rayquaza, and a combination of Dazzling Gleam plus Precipice Blades should take down Kyogre. So he does go for the Dragon Ascent. The question is he a timid Kyogre? Is he? Oh my gosh. Okay, so that happened. So okay, at least we KO'd Kyogre, I guess. But Landorus Landorus comes in, intimidates both my physical attackers. So I'm gonna set up the Tailwind. He's free to Earthquake, so I'm going to Protect. Rayquaza protects, that's great. If he goes for a Rock Slide, he goes for a Rock Slide. There's a Tailwind. Is that... It's probably not a Choice Scarf version, isn't it? Nope. Rock Tomb. Is that Rock Tomb going to KO? It's not. Okay. But an Extreme Speed will KO. So, I'm going to Quick Guard to conserve my Talonflame. And I'm actually going to Rock Tomb the Rayquaza. So, Tailwind, there's 4 turns. Rayquaza goes for the Extreme Speed. I get Protection. The Rock Tomb will not... Wow, nowhere close. Nowhere. And he has the Earthquake. Ugh. Oh, that critical hit. That magical critical hit. So, he can Extreme Speed once again. He can Earthquake once again. But I'm gonna Brave Bird and Fire Punch the Landorus. That's my only shot. But yeah, he goes for the Extreme Speed. The Extreme Speed guarantees that he wins. So unless I get a super critical burn here, I'm not going to win this match. That critical hit onto my Xerneas sealed it for him, because I would have survived. Just barely, but I would have survived. I would have gotten a Dazzling Gleam off. I would have KO'd the Rayquaza, and then the Precipice Blades would have KO'd the Kyogre, and it would have been 3 against 1 for the Landorus matchup. And I could have set up Tailwind. I could have redone my Intimidate and things like that, but that's not the case. So that will be all for today, guys. Unfortunate critical hit robs us of our win, but that's fine. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow in Spanish or on Thursday in English, and I hope you leave a like on the video to support the channel, if you like the video, of course. Thank you guys, and bye bye.